This woman could become pregnant 71 times a year, but each time, her husband would force her to abort the baby. After every abortion, the husband would hold a funeral to celebrate. It wasn't until the 72nd pregnancy that he allowed her to keep the baby. However, the child born was a monster. But the man was happy. They put a gourd mask on the boy's face and treated him like a dog, keeping him confined. Although he had only 3 legs, he could run very fast. Life was difficult, but they managed to get by. One day, he saw his father teaching his 2 younger brothers how to dance to pass on his skills, but the brothers couldn't learn no matter how hard they tried. However, the boy learned it after just one glance and even created more beautiful dances. He became deeply interested in dancing. So, he practiced every day, hoping it would make him happy and earn his father's approval. Just as he perfected his dance, he suddenly grew human legs. He was ecstatic and ran to the streets to share his joy with the villagers. He thought they wouldn't discriminate against him anymore. However, the children still looked at him strangely. He hated them and even took off the gourd mask he had worn for 8 years. The villagers were so frightened that they ran away. One day, he met a strange person. The man wasn't afraid of his ugly appearance. He was blind and a top-class musician. The boy asked him to play the piano while he danced. They worked together in perfect harmony. The boy then gave the musician a stolen steamed bun. They became friends due to their similar experiences. Time passed. The younger brothers still couldn't dance. Meanwhile, the boy's dancing skills became more and more refined. However, his father was not happy but rather jealous. He couldn't accept that his successor was a monster, so he tried to stop the boy from dancing by any means. 5 years later, the boy and the musician were both adults. Although the boy didn't know why he became a monster. Every time he danced, his body gradually healed. One day, the boy and the musician borrowed a stage to perform. They used dance to tell their story. Their performance was so amazing that the villagers couldn't help but applaud. Their performance became popular, while his father had no one to watch. This made the father even more resentful of the boy. By now, the boy's face was the only thing that hadn't healed. He thought a few more performances would do the trick. But unexpectedly, even the emperor wanted to see him perform and demanded that he take off his mask at the end. The father thought that the emperor would be so shocked by his son's ugly face that he would be killed. So, he agreed to let the boy perform. The next day, the father hid early, waiting for the boy to make a fool of himself out of nervousness. But to his surprise, the boy didn't make any mistakes and danced even better. The forgotten, tragic memories slowly came back to the boy's mind. It turned out that the boy was born as a monster because his father, wanting to maintain his title as the Dance King, had made a deal with the cursed mask. The boy became a sacrifice to exchange for inspiration, which caused him to become a monster before he was even born. In the end, when the boy took off the mask, his face was restored.